Just want to make sure that we live here. Give me a second. And it seems like we are. All right, cool. So, give me a second here. Let me talk to my guest here, see if I can get him in here. All right, cool. So, good evening, good day, good afternoon, good morning. All depends on when you're watching. Here with another one. USFL presents the owner's box. Let me turn my light down. I look a little crazy right now. It's this one. All right, cool. The only PS4 CFM, their live talk show that I know of. Here this evening, I'm waiting for my guest to see if he can jump in and join me. I know that the comment says myself and Ty. I didn't actually reach out to Ty for this one. I will reach out to him for the next one or future ones. I know that he's going through some, speaking to some people, he's going through some things, personally just trying to get himself together and everything like that. So I wish him the best in health and success and wealth. And we'll definitely reach out here to him in the next one. We're hearing what I like to call season 5, every new Madden release. I like to call it a new season. Oh, man, where do we start? So I guess we start with the list that was put up the other day from Boom. Or I guess let's even go back further than that, man. Let's go back to the Madden 20 recap, I guess. Shout out to Candyman for winning the most Super Bowls. Then behind him, Cletus, myself, Dre, I believe Tick won the last one. We had a very good up and down year. A lot of crazy things, couple undefeated teams. Shout out to John the Bully. He went undefeated all the way up to the Super Bowl and then continued to go undefeated for a while. He actually played me in that, also going undefeated. Candyman had a great run. Cletus had a great run. Boom, John the Bullet, Skills had a great run for the NFC. AFC dominated, in my opinion. NFC arguably says that that's because they were mostly beat up from playing each other here in the playoffs, but that's perspective, right? We ended up being on the AFC side of the ball. We ended up dominating there. Here we are, as the young kids say in this league. What have you done for me lately? Madden 21. Oh man. No, Ty, I just said that. I just said, here we go. You see that? You see that? I just said it. Let me show that. I just said it. I never reached out to you, fam. I'm never going to take you down out of the co-host credits and be part of the show. The only reason why I haven't reached out to you, I had a guest. I figured it was going to be a great show. I also spoke to Boone. He said you was going through like a little rehab or whatever. I haven't spoken to you all summer, so I know you're already up in the air with Madden 21. That's the only reason why I haven't reached out to you. And I just said further, moving forward, it will not happen. I will be reaching out to you further. So please do not take it personal. That's funny. I just said that. You commented. You're more than welcome here. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Always welcome, bro. Come on, the link. I don't even think the link changed, to be honest. Here, I'm going to send you the link, but I don't think that it changed. You should be able to just always hop in. There you go. I just sent it to you on via group me. So here we are. Madden 21. A lot of mixed reviews, first of all, foremost with the game. I guess I'll start my personal opinion of the game. To be honest, I only played really 3 games. I haven't really had enough time to really dissect it and jump in the lab and things of that nature. If you notice, I'm kind of on the grind right now here and just in my personal life. So, however, no excuses. I feel like the game overall right now is solid. It's year 1. A lot of it's new. The movement is a little, I don't want to call it stiff. I think it moves a little fluid. I do feel like learn how to break tackles and things of that nature are really going to be key. I think the person who can actually maneuver and break open field tackles will really dominate this year. I think guys with abilities like a jukebox, like a spin cycle, like evasive, those guys with the rat catches, those guys whose abilities will really stand out this year, at least until the patches come first season. Either you got it or you don't. I think a huge factor that I don't know if people are really looking at in the stat is the change of direction stat. A lot of people are saying like you can't really juke, you can't really spin. But if you notice on offense, whether defense, the COD attribute really, I think, plays a factor in this Madden. And for me, I know I'll be looking at that, especially when a person I'm using and a receiver, running back, like what is their change of direction attributes, just so I can feel a little bit more comfortable being able to maneuver through the holes, things of that nature after I get the ball. Regardless if a person has high juke, high spin, it still seems like if that person does not have a high COD, he does not move the same as a person with a high COD. Case in point, like I played just a quick live game with Boom. McCaffrey was easily jukeboxing people. I mean, he had the abilities, plus he has the high change of direction, if not the best in the game at running back, I believe, at his position. Him, Delvin Cook, things of that nature. Those two things are really going to make stars stand out. Even on user and on defense, guys who are like linebackers and safeties, if you don't have that COD, that ability to commit to a certain direction and come back is really going to affect the game. Because it seems like once you commit, you're pretty much committed. You don't really even have to use turbo this year. You can just kind of swerve around a defender, depending on the pursuit angle and the angle that you take on here on the field. It seems like coverages is every year Madden in the beginning, everybody says, oh man coverage. I do agree that man coverage has been, it's been tuned up. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Guys are able to break against the ball faster on certain routes. Simple out routes, like a simple smart route out route isn't as easy as to throw as it once was. You can still get them to work. It just takes time and precision and different things like that. And then, again, stay away from the cornerbacks with the stars and the X's on them, because they will jump those things very, very quickly and easy. A lot of new adjustments. I feel like the block shed hasn't been really turned up this year like it was in previous years. I mean, again, if you play with a guy like I had the Rams for a little bit and I was practicing with the Rams, thinking if I was going to go over there, we'll get into that topic here as the episode is named Chess or Checkers. Somebody like Aaron Donald, I really didn't have to do anything, but he's Aaron Donald, right? He's like a unicorn in the game. Like a guy like that, you don't really have to do much. He can just dominate and change the game himself versus just a regular young guy. He was really not getting that break on the balls fast and things like that. So there's a lot of key factors. Overall, I think the game it's all right. It's funny because it's like people complain about what was overpowered last year and then EA tunes it down. And now people are saying, oh, they don't like it, or, oh, it's the same game. But it's like, people were saying the jukes and spins were out of control, especially the jukes were out of control. This year, you can't really juke. Now they're like, oh, it moves stiff. Zones don't work a certain way. Zones work a little bit better now. You can even control the zones and things of that nature. And then people still complaining like, oh, the zones are still broken. It's like, you can't really win. Like, and then we're also, CFM's also fighting with Mutt and things of that nature. So like we're trying to get a certain feel for it in CFM. EA is like kind of catering to Mutt. So it's all these different things, man. So, I mean, it's like a gift and a curse. You got to take it for what it is. And then I guess you use that to make the game work in your advantage. Again, let me see what's my guest looking like here. Is he jumping on? Because I really wanted to get his opinion here on it. So this episode, here we go. He has to connect his microphone. So once he connects his microphone, then we'll bring him in here. First time guest, has never really been on the show. Oh, we got his audio in here. Let me add him to the show here. Hello?
What's up?
What's up, man? For those who don't know, let me introduce this guest here. Multiple Super Bowl winner. Multiple Mads. Me and this man go back PS3 days. If he's Batman, if I'm Batman, he's Joker, vice versa. He is my nemesis, good friend, good rival. I known him before the kids. Man, goes back. I mean, true, simple, but effective. Always, down for competition. None other than Candyman himself, man. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Not
It's
much,
probably
bro.
been what? Was it like 2012, 2013?
Man, you ain't even had kids yet, man. How old is your son?
Yeah, he's almost 4.
Way before that, man.
Yeah, it's way before that. So
Way
yeah, it had to
before.
be around. So about 7, 8 years
Yeah,
we've been
easily.
playing, been balling.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for jumping on to the show. I know your schedule's a little crazy, like my schedule. But let's talk about it, man. First, let me get a quick rundown. Well, I guess like we do with all guests, man. Give us your Madden profile. How long you been doing Madden? I mean, I personally know, but to the like a lot of new faces and things like that.
Man,
How long you been doing Madden?
I've been playing Madden since I guess 98, 99. Back in the Nintendo days, or the Super Nintendo days. Yeah, man, I've been playing forever. I really am a big college football guy, so I really like the NCAA series until it died in 2014.
Correct.
So, Madden's had to be my football fix. And, yeah, I mean, I have fun with it. It's fun. It's something that, you know, gives guys like us, competition. We're not actually playing football, but it's fun to play, Madden, and enjoy it every year. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to be. Some Maddens have been a huge disappointment, and like there was one year, I forget which, it was like Madden 15 or 16, I can't remember, maybe that was 25. It was the one after 25, I think, is when, and I hated it so much that I hardly played it.
Yeah, one of you almost retired, man. You Madden almost lost you, man. One of them you really hated.
Yeah, there was a point I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. And yeah, so here the past like 3 years, man, I've been getting back into it and enjoying it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to another season with you guys. USFL is a fun league. It's a tight knit group, and and you got a lot of guys and not a lot of turnover. It means you got a pretty good league going. So
yeah,
I think last year actually was the longest I played a season. I don't think I've ever played till the end of July before.
yeah.
Usually I burn out around April or May, but
Yeah, I was shocked to see you still rocking that long. Normally when the spring comes, we usually like take it off.
yeah,
You
yeah,
just fall
well,
back. You
yeah,
kept going.
yeah. But last year, man, I was just having fun with it, and
Yeah,
when you're a dad and you're around the house a lot more often and stuff, and you're not going out so much, you just it gives you something to do, and it's just something, So I just rolled with it and had fun with it. Had a lot of success. I never won 4 bowls in a season before. There's a lot of luck happened last year with some of those runs I had. I had the ball bounce my way quite a bit, and just had a lot of fun last year, and looking forward to this year. It's going to be a new challenge. I think I listened to you a little bit before I hopped on, and you were talking about. We were talking the other day about how it's going to be a different game this year. It's not going to be it's going to be about more scheme. It's going to be about more it's
more of a chess match. It's
going
not
to be
really.
more of a chess match.
It's
Yeah,
more
and
of a
that's the
chess match.
way, and that's really what I like about Madden is the chess match. It's not so much about playing a video game. It's it's fun because it's a chess match where you have some input of making a play, and that's user. I like being a user, and all. I like to make user plays, and sometimes you make the wrong move, but a user can make up for that wrong move. And that's satisfying.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, looking forward to it.
yeah. I seen that. I know Boone is for sure haunted by that one play.
Oh yeah, he had me, man. That was a fantastic play call.
Yeah,
I'll give him all the credit in the world. He has a perfect play call. and he just, I guess, threw it too soon, and it sailed right past his wide receiver to go up two. Yeah, or go up
We still
one.
talk about that. We still talk. He still talks about that. We still watch the video. We laugh about it. I'm like, you gotta let
Oh
it go,
yeah.
man. Gotta let it go. Gotta let it
That's
go.
what I'm saying, man. I won. I won a bunch of games by,
Yeah,
by just one play. So that's what I come out lucky last year, no
yeah,
doubt.
for sure. So I wanted to bring you on. For one, we always have a conversation here in person. This is, in private. This is the first time we have like these type of conversations here in public. Um, you and I, every time, like after the Maddens, whatever, and right before the next one comes out, we kind of like take jabs, not jabs, but friendly competitor. Like, yo, next one's coming out. Are you playing? You in the league? You'll hit me like, yo, you getting it? And yeah, I'm getting it. You getting it? Yeah, great. And I go, I see, I know where, we'll meet where we always meet at, and then we laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Skills made a comment this year, like, hey, why don't you just join Candy's division and things of that nature? We kind of talked about it a little bit, hence why I named this episode Chess or Checkers. Just from your perspective, just break it down, just what, your thoughts of me joining your division. Do you really care? I know you like it. Break that whole thing down. Was my decision to stay with the Redskins a chess move or a checkers move? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's like, I think all guys could take. I don't know if they have the same approach the way I think of things, but it's like I was telling you. If you came to my division, it would only make me. It would only have to make me better. If I'm going to have success, I'm going to have to be better. I'm going to have to think outside the box on what I do. I can't settle for, the scheme that I'm running, which may consist of 4 or 5 different things, and be cool with that, because if we play each other 3 times a year, we're going to know each other inside and out. So that means there's a lot of other things in a playbook or defensive scheme wise, and I'm going to have to do differently to change it up, because you got to keep your opponent guessing. If you're playing a good Madden player, he's going to make you guess, and keep on your heels. That's what's that's a good Madden player.
Yeah,
And when guys run the same stuff over and over, sometimes it's annoying because it works and you can't do a whole lot about it unless you make. And sometimes I struggle because I can't figure out the adjustment I'm supposed to make, but that rarely happens. Eventually I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to anticipate. I'm going to it's not hard to make those adjustments. But playing each other 3 times a year, typically that's what would happen, at
sure,
least twice a year.
sure.
Yeah, so I really wanted you to join just for that, because having the 49ers, I have no idea who the Rams is going to be now. The Seahawks, I think that guy's, I don't know who he is. I think he's a wild card. I don't know if he's been in the league before, but
Yeah, I think he's a new guy.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if he's good, if he's a good Madden player, he's going to be good because he's got a really good team. So
Right.
the West is going to be tough, but I like it like that. It's going to be fun. It's going to make 8 games, at least 8 games a year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and
Sure.
so that was the whole reasoning by me wanting you to be in my division, because it's just going to make us better. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. For me, and for me, it was like, it's almost like sometimes I feel like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. Right? It's like we already play each other, regardless if we're in the same division or not. We play each other at least twice a year, whether
Yeah.
because we're in the number 1 slot in the division,
Yep.
and then we somehow always meet in the playoffs. So then it's like
Yep.
we'll play you twice and then meet you again in the playoffs. It's like, man, it feels like like I said, by year 2 and year 3, we're out here probably trying to run trick reverses and fake punts. We've seen everything. We probably didn't. It's we already have that mindset playing each other just now because we've played each other so long, so many different times. It's like, how many, what else can I do that you haven't seen? And it's really not even a new thing. It's like, oh, I kind of missed that tackle, good play. Oh, I was in the wrong coverage, good play. Because we
Right.
kind of know each other's game in and out. So then to do that 3 times, I was just like, man, is that even Is it even fun anymore? Like, because like I said, by the time we get to the playoffs, it's like, what do I do now? Like, you done seen everything. So it's like, do I even, then my mindset is like, yo, do I let you win just the 2 regular season games just to show you I'm new in the playoffs? That, then the fact that it's the Rams, right? They have Aaron Donald and they have Ramsey, because sometimes they say to me like, oh, well, Gates, you always got a good team. You always got a solid team. I'm like, all right, well, the Redskins don't have nobody. But then they're like, oh, well, the division isn't as strong. I'm like, yo, but Ty's won Super Bowls. He's been there. The younger guy said, well, he ain't won. They ain't seen it, so it don't exist. I'm like, here we go. That's always a conversation. And that's no shot at Ty, but it's just like, okay. I mean, I don't agree with that, but okay, whatever. Then they say Moondog and Mo, they're not really, in the conversation. So, like in the top 5 or whatever. So I guess, like I said, like, I don't know. It's like if I go to the Rams, I have that, well, you had the Rams thing. I go to the Redskins, like, oh, you ducking candy. But I'm like, yo, it's inevitable we meet anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's inevitable. Like, we're gonna meet where we text about each other every season. Like, see you in the NFC Championship, AFC Championship. That's the conversation every year. The question is, do we get there? Does Cletus, figure it out, or do we wait for him to catch fire early, or do we wait? Do we factor him in? Year 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That's really it. That's really to be honest, that's really the conversation behind closed doors. I mean, you always have. So, that was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you at all saying with the Redskins. I mean, they're ratings wise, they're a bad team, but they're a young team. They got it'll be fun to make a team out of them. So I mean, it's a good project. I don't blame you one bit, but I think what's cool from what I've noticed, I think several guys moved teams this year.
Yeah.
And that's good. I think it's really good. I think it's refreshing. I mean, I've been with the Chargers for the past 2 years, and I hate the Chargers. And so just to get out of San Diego or LA, I mean, just feels good to be out there and build a team around Kyler Murray. It's gonna be that's gonna be my project. We'll just see what we can do with him. He's pretty decent as he is right now, but we're gonna work on him. And
see, that's what I'm saying. I know your game, right? Like, it's funny because when I seen it, I was like, what team can he go to? He went to the Cardinals. I was like, oh my God. Even Pie was like, who in the hell let him get Kyler Murray? I was like, like, nobody wants to chase him around 3 games. Like, in my opinion, too, this game is really catered because Lamar Jackson had such a great year. It's catered to the mobile quarterback. Like, mobile quarterbacks are going to be like the secret weapon to this Madden, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the games that I play online, just getting used with the Cardinals and playing with them. I don't run as much with Kyler right now that I thought that I would. Of course I run, some read options, and it's fun to run those occasionally. And see what's so bad is my offensive line is absolute trash. I mean, they're like 60s, low 70s. I mean, they're garbage. Yeah. And so I'm going to have to be able to scramble a little bit. That's the only chance I've got, because if I sit in the pocket for more than 3 seconds, I'm sacked. They just suck so bad. So that's going to be a big project, just work on that line. But I got a couple of weapons. Of course, I got Hopkins out there. He's a beast. There's some speed on that team, and I like to run the ball. My bread and butter last year was running the football, and building up. Of course, Eckler last year, he was one of my favorite players because he wasn't that good starting out, and then I built him up, and he was really good. And I just got to get the running game. I just want to have. I want to be more balanced this year. I don't want to run so much. I want to be about 50-50. I want to keep people guessing, because like you're saying, I mean, when you commit with a linebacker or safety or somebody covering, I mean, what I've learned is you better stick with that guy, whoever you're committing to or whatever you're committing to, because if you don't,
you're done.
You're done. Yeah. And I think that's a really good thing, because you could make up so much lost ground last year, and you could just overcorrect, and it was really ridiculous, honestly. But so that's what's going to make it more interesting this year. Is you're really going to have to scheme, you know, and anticipate and just kind of think through what you're going to do each play on defense, because defense is pretty weak. But it's one of those things that I think we'll all adjust to. And I think I read a little bit about the first this patch coming up, I guess, on Thursday. I think they're going to fix a couple of things, tweak some things, but
I feel like I said, I feel like whoever wins the open field battle, right? Like, if it's me and you, we're running towards each other. Who wins that? Like, do you get the tackle, or like, do I get the tackle, or do you get the the evasive move or whatever? Whoever wins that will kill this year. Because like you say, like, bad enough you got to take the right pursuit angle, but then you ain't have the right angle. You have to almost make that tackle, especially if you're safety, because you're the last line of defense, and it really feels like that in this match.
Yeah, it really does. And something that I never used much last year was the dive button. Like I don't know. I just didn't feel like I had to use the dive button a lot last year. This year, man, I've had to use the dive button to make, shoestring tackles, and it really works good if you hit it the right angle and you're getting beat. I mean, it works pretty good. And you're right. You have to, those pursuit angles, they can kill you if you don't do it right. And then, holding in your turbo boot, like the acceleration, I mean, that will kill you if you don't use it correctly.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's good. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think they're getting that right finally. But there's still some flaws in the game. I mean, playing online, it's a pretty smooth game right now. Like, I enjoy playing it. I've not seen a lot of terrible glitches that people are finding in MUT and
right.
Yeah, I mean, in MUT, for whatever reason, they're having a terrible time with it.
The nickel 335, I heard, is something going on with that in MUT.
I heard the same thing. But we'll just, I think we're just gonna have to just see what happens. I mean, I think right now, the game's is decent. I think it's good enough to play. I mean, obviously we want to get the rosters right before we start, but I think the gameplay is pretty good. I haven't seen any glitches posted pertaining to franchise that I've seen that's been really bad. If anybody has, please let us know. But I just haven't seen anything. But doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But we'll just have to see what happens.
It just hasn't hit for sure. Yeah. I mean, being as though you've won most Super Bowls here in USFL, and I've known you to play in other leagues, so you won Super Bowls there. What tips do you have for, the guys? Because again, we got a couple new faces in this league. What tips do you have for the new guys? I mean, because for the new guys who don't know, I mean, Candy's probably at number one, everybody's list at number one. So, what tips do you have for any new guys coming in? Or just in general, like, just give us your tips. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's really, Ty says it all the time, like, nobody really ever hears from you. You know what I'm saying? So this is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think anybody who's a good Madden player, I mean, it's, in the passing game, it's timing, I mean, obviously you have to read coverages. I mean, you have to get in the mode of figuring out or anticipating and reading coverages. I mean, a cover, whatever looks like a cover 2, can easily be a cover 4, a cover 3. And, you have to watch that develop and assume that, that might happen and how to throw a ball like into coverage, especially if they're in zone and, timing. I mean, different timing routes. I mean, and that's just getting into practice mode, just working on those things.
Yeah.
The running game, I mean, I've not played, I've played some good Madden players who all I do is like 95% pass and, barely run the ball. But, a really good Madden player, runs the ball, and incorporates that into the pass game. And then you got play action. I think play action is really awesome this year.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I mean, it can be deadly. I mean,
Yeah.
I played a
I mean,
couple guys online, man.
the whole screen shifts if your play action pass is high enough.
Yeah, and the screens this year, like the halfback screens are ridiculous. I mean, they block really good. I
Yeah, they
mean,
do.
even if you like I've anticipated going after, getting a pick off a screen and can't get there because they block you so good. So I mean, the
Yeah.
screens are really good this year. I just think if you can just learn how to read coverage, and especially as the play develops, you still got to and go through your progressions. Don't have laser vision and focus on one receiver that you really want to throw to. At least have a check down guy. I mean, if you're going to be a real good Madden player, you should have at least two check down guys. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and, it's easy to get into laser vision. But if you have a little patience and you can read the coverage, I mean, it can just really change you from being a decent Madden player to a really good Madden player. And then I mean, and here's in the intangibles, that's the user play. I mean, that's working on your user on offense and defense. I mean, work on how those this year they have different juke animations. They got different. I think how like a hurdle juke. Like they have so many different
Yeah.
run animations that you can incorporate to your gameplay if used correctly. They can be huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
what I think is huge, not to cut you off, Candy, the guys reaching out with the football for like that extra
oh,
yard
dude,
first down.
that's huge. And honestly,
Huge.
that's the way that should happen. I mean,
Huge. That extra arm out to like for the goal line or for that first down. Oh my God. It's like you almost got to tackle a guy like 2 yards before the first down to make sure he doesn't get the reach.
well, that's the thing is, I mean, I played a game the other night and man, I got tackled. I mean, it looked like way like maybe at the 1.5 yard line, dude. And my running back like threw his arm out and actually crossed the goal line. And I had to go back and look at replay after the game because I couldn't even like believe it gave me a touchdown.
Yeah.
But that happens in real life. I mean, not every time, but I mean, it happens if they have an opportunity to throw their arm over. They do. If they're getting double tackled, gang tackled, then that's not going to. I don't think it happens. It doesn't happen. It's if I guess I think if you have one guy that's tackling and they can physically throw an arm out to get across, they will, and that's cool. I mean, I think that's a good add-on to the game this year for sure.
Yeah, I do think so as well. It's going to decide a lot of first downs. I mean, it'd be interesting to see who can and who can't do it. Or when is that animation trigger and when it's not triggered. It'd be interesting to see because I know it's going to be a time where somebody's going to have to reach out and they don't reach out, and the guy's probably been reaching out all game, but that one crucial one, he doesn't reach out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally agree, but I really want to know more about it. I wonder what the mechanics are. I mean, is it because, like I said, is he being tackled where his arm is free, or
Yeah.
if he's getting gang tackled, he can't physically do it, so he's not going to. I've not seen that happen. I've only seen it when one defender is making the tackle and he can physically do it. So I think they've got it right. If he was throwing his arm through 2 or 3 guys to get a touchdown, that would piss me off. I mean, I would just think this is stupid. Yeah, but I have not seen that, so I think they've got that right so far. So that's cool.
Don said, one of the Jersey Boy Don, who is I think he's the Falcons this year. He said that that's now an ability. It's an ability now to be able to reach out like that.
Okay,
So
cool.
I guess that's for the fight the yards trait. I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Fight for yards, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to look and see what ability that is. But that'd be interesting to see for sure how that's used.
And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, can't you manually select what abilities you want your players to have? Is that new this year? Maybe I read that wrong, but
I think that is new. Like you used to do that. I know you could do last year in the face of franchise, but this year, I mean, last year you couldn't do that at all. You couldn't select no abilities. Like we could alter the abilities by editing, like say for example, if you had a running back and he had abilities, you could change him to wide receiver and then change him back to running back. And he would they would give him new set of abilities. And you could almost randomize them like that.
Yeah.
That was like an ability hack. You could take a wide receiver, throw him to cornerback, then bring him right back to wide receiver, and then he would have new abilities. And you would just kind of have to keep doing that until you got the combination of abilities you felt that was best for you.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people didn't know that could happen or exist, but those who knew, they knew.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I wasn't in the know on that one.
Yeah, for sure. Those who knew kept it hush. You know what I'm saying? It was a small circle. It was a small circle. This year, so I think this year that might be. I mean, it'd be cool. Hopefully one thing. I hope it's a good balance. Because God forbid everybody's running around with Moss. You know what I'm saying? All the receivers are running around with Moss or something like that. So
yeah, right.
That'll be interesting to see. Let's talk about divisions, man. Just hearing your predictions of divisions. Just teams that whether you know the user or might just think of the teams and how they are ranked or whatever. Or who do you see winning the divisions? Let's go with the NFC. Of course, your division you would say you. Just as a player, you could say you. So let's just take your division out. Let's go NFC East, NFC South, and NFC North.
Okay. The North.
It has Paya, Tick, C-Dub, and a new guy.
Okay.
Lincoln Eckler is the.
Yeah, he was the Chiefs. He was the Chiefs. Last year. Okay.
He's the Lions. Yep.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah, I like
he was
him.
solid. Yeah, he was a good player. I think he beat me a couple times. He had a good team. I mean, he was he was a good passer, and it sounds like a pretty good division. Let's see, who is the Packers?
Tick is the Packers.
Tick. Okay.
No, not Tick is the Packers. Pie is the Packers.
And who's the Bears?
Bears is Fear Tonight is the Bears. That's who it is. So Tick moved to that's right. Tick moved to the Browns.
Browns. Okay.
Yeah. So Fear Tonight, who was the Jacksonville last year, is now the Bears.
I think Paya will probably. Honestly, the Packers are pretty. They're pretty good.
That's his team.
That's his team. I think he has the edge right now. I think from a personnel point of view, man, he's got the edge. He's a good player. I would give the edge to Paya right now. But there's the other couple of guys too. All the other three guys are solid. They're solid players. The first season, man, it's just a crapshoot. So many guys are, still trying to break into game. Some guys who typically aren't really, really, good, let's say, have a lot of success in season one because they've got a little scheme that they like to run, and guys are having a hard time adjusting, and so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think Fear Tonight. He has abilities to, because he plays like Paya a little bit. Not plays like Paya, but Paya will fall in love with a certain side of plays. He'll be stubborn enough not to get out of them. Fear Tonight is also like that, right? He kind of mirrors that. He loves the formation and it works for him. It's real hard for him to break out of that formation, so he'll run that.
That's exactly right. Yeah, those two. I think I played CW. Was it CW? Is that what his name is?
CW is the Vikings. Yeah, Fear Tonight.
I played him, and man, he mixed it up. From what I remember, and he played pretty solid. And the Jaguars were good last year. That's what I'm saying. I played all these guys, and they've all given me fits. So they know how to play the game.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a good division. Right now I'll give it to Paya, but we'll see.
Yeah, me too. And it'd be interesting to see if Lincoln can have the same success with the Lions that he did with the Chiefs, right? Because again, it's one of those things where people say, "Well, he had the Chiefs. Everybody is good with the Chiefs." It's you still got to get on the field and still got to win games, right? But some people will say that. But it'd be interesting to see how he does with the Lions. In the NFC South, we have Boone, the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jersey Boy Don who was the Patriots last year, is now the Falcons. We have Sun Moon Kurt. He is the Saints, and the guy who was the Panthers last year is now the Bucks this year.
Okay.
So I'm going with Boone in that division. Boone, Jersey Boy, Don, and Kurt, and then the Panthers guy who's now the Bucks. That's my order.
Okay. So Boone, man, he very solid Madden player. You know, like he's a 2-point conversion away from beating me in that last bowl we played. You know, he mixes it up. He's going to have McCaffrey back there, who's a beast this year. I mean, he's going to have a lot of fun with him. I wish he was on my team.
Right.
You know, the Falcons with Jersey Boy Don, is that right? Yeah, he man, you know, I mean, I remember when he came into the league. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna throw like 1,000. You know, he's gonna throw like 5,000 yards with Matt Ryan, something crazy.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's got a chance to really, to be really competitive next year. I think because he was a really good passer. I mean, he and I played a game. I remember like it was the first time we played, and I think I won like 48-45. I mean, I didn't punt. He didn't punt.
Yeah,
I think he threw maybe one pick, and that beat him. Yeah, we couldn't stop each other. It was insane. I'll never forget. I won't forget that one because I remember it. We didn't punt. I think he threw one pick. I could be wrong, but yeah. So he's gonna be good. I think the guy who's now the Bucks. I think he was getting better last year as the seasons went on. I think he was really getting into the game and giving guys fits. You know, the Bucks have a fun roster to play with now. Be interested what he does with them. Who is
and then Kurt is the Saints.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I played him, and man, he gave me fits. I mean, I think he's a really good Madden player, dude. The Saints are loaded, and so many guys play with the Saints online. I mean, I think they're ranked 93 overall as a team. Like, they're really good, and you know, if he plays the game right, he could be really tough to beat. So I think right now, just based off history, I think I'll give it to Boone. And but man, Don and Boone or was it Sun Moon?
Yeah, Sun Moon. Yeah.
Yes, I mean they're right there, man. I mean, we just talked about two divisions, so I think it'll be really neck and neck. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Like, I go with Boone because of just like you say, off of history and experience. You know, Jersey Boy Don. I mean, we both know he's going to gunsling. I mean, he's going to gunsling. So the question becomes, are they going to be able to adjust fast enough? Because God forbid he gets into a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? If he gets into a rhythm early and Matt Ryan's making them throws, they still got Julio Jones. I mean, they got crazy linebackers. I mean, he has a team to make it happen.
For sure.
He has a team to make it happen. But Boone just has, just longevity and consistency. And we'll see if he can make it happen with the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the question. We know McCaffrey's going to show up. Can he do it? If McCaffrey doesn't show up, who else steps up outside of that, team offensively? So that'd be interesting to see how that works out. Like you said, Saints are loaded. Is Sun Moon going to play though? Is he going to show up and step up to the competition, or?
Yeah.
That really boils down to it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then NFC East, you have myself, Ty, Moondog, and Mo.
I mean, definitely. I mean, I would definitely have to rank you number one because of history, and from a let's see. I haven't looked at any of these other teams to know what the roster is. Ty really, man, I really enjoy playing him because he has a really unique scheme that gives me fits, when we play. And if he can get that run game going, I mean, he could be really tough to stop. Barkley is just an absolute beast to play with. I wish he was on my team. Let's see, who is the Cowboys? What's his name?
Moondog.
Yeah, Moondog. Yeah, man. He beat me once last year. I mean,
Yeah, he sure did. He
one of the
sure
most
did.
frustrating games I've ever played. It seemed like I couldn't do anything. I was
Yeah.
so frustrated playing
Yo,
him.
I think I owe Moondog an apology because when I seen it, I was like, it was at a sim? And they was like, no, he beat him. I was like, what?
Yeah, he did. He beat me,
I
man.
was like,
He
what?
beat me. Oh, he dinked and dunked me. I mean, he did what he had to do to beat me, and I give him
Yeah,
credit. So,
that's what they said. I
yeah.
was like, what? That wasn't a
Oh
sim?
man,
Nah.
it was
He beat
so
Candy. I was like, what?
I
Okay.
couldn't believe it. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough game, but it was so frustrating. But yeah, he beat me. He beat me fair and square, and yeah. So, I mean, he's got a fantastic running back.
Mm-hmm.
If he, I just know how it'd play with these different teams that I'm thinking about right now, and I mean, it just, you know, like I'm saying, like if these guys could incorporate, good rushing attack and then play action this year and be efficient and efficient passing and run the rock. I think it'd be so much fun to play with those teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the Cowboys probably have the best. Well, let's see, who's the Eagles?
Mo's the Eagles.
Mo's the Eagles. That's right. Okay. Um, you know, uh,
Eagles have the most talent. Like they have the most
they
superstars, X
they
factors.
that's what I was getting ready. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say. There's so many teams that have more, so many better players than what you've got. You got rock bottom right now.
Yeah.
But Mo. I mean, he played well last year, and just like he had a hard time getting over the hump. But he could play with guys. I watched some of his games. He's got good talent. Uh, I think. Um, I'll give you number one till somebody knocks you off. I mean, that's I give you number one, probably Ty number two, Mo
Yeah,
number
that's the talent.
three, and the Cowboys number four is how I would rank that. But that's just
Yeah.
well, that's what my gut tells me.
But I feel like me and being in a division with Ty, he's really gonna like, I think he's really gonna like no days off on, take, play for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I think the version that we seen last year isn't gonna be the version that we see this Madden for sure.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing with Madden is there's been some Maddens where I've had way more success than others. I mean, every Madden's a little different. And
Yeah,
some guys, come out and are a totally different Madden player from one year to the next. And
yeah, for sure.
I've played Ty in the Super Bowl before, and we've got a lot of history together. And you
Yeah, you
know,
PS3 days too. Probably goes back to our PS3 days too.
oh yeah, with Madden or
Yeah,
well, it wasn't Madden, man. That was
NBL, the NBL league.
ML, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, ML, yeah, that's right. That's what was after Madden, man.
yeah, yeah,
That was so far. It's crazy how long ago that was.
yeah.
But yeah, so now let's see, NFC West.
That's you. That's your division.
That's me, man. But I mean, on
Come on now.
I don't
Until
want to put
proven.
myself first, so
Listen,
I'm going to
until
put
proven,
myself
man.
first.
Until proven, it's you. It's you. It's Dre. It's the new guy, and then whoever the Rams are.
I mean, honestly, I'm going to say Dre number one because man, honestly, he's good. He's consistent. He's got a really fun team to play with. I think
That's his team. He's a 49ers fan too.
yeah. So I mean, I know he likes this tight end. Like I said, I don't think we ever played once last year. We played like in a preseason game, but we never played in regular season. It just didn't work out. But I'm gonna rank him number one because his team I think fits him. I think he's got I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the guy to beat because he's got a good roster. He's a good player, and then I guess we'll see who the Seahawks are.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to wait and see. They have a really good roster. I mean, they'd be a
Yeah,
fun team to play with.
that's the guy's skills. That's his buddy. He said he's bringing him into the
Okay,
league.
and I'm gonna assume he's a good player. So
Yeah, we can assume.
yeah. So man, I mean that division could be really tough. I don't know who the Rams are, if we've got a Rams guy or not, but
I think Dre's gonna bring his buddy in. And play
okay.
with him.
So yeah, I'm gonna put me dead last. I'll just put myself dead last because honestly, I haven't been playing that good at this game. I'm really, I've struggled a little bit, and I think I am going to have some. I don't think I'm going to be very good this first season. It's going to take. I gotta build my team up a little bit. The defensive line and offensive line are just so bad. It's going to be so frustrating because we'll just have to see. But right now, I'm going to give it to the 49ers. So.
Okay. Not bad. AFC East has Skills, Don Joe, Cletus, and somebody else. Who's that fourth team? It's Cletus, Don Joe, Skills, and somebody else. I gotta think who that last team is. But I mean, I would personally say Cletus until he's dethroned.
Yeah, Cletus, no doubt. I mean, it's funny because it never ceases to amaze me how he continues to stick with the Jets, even though I know it's his favorite team. But
Creasy is the fourth team. He's the Patriots, actually. Yep, Creasy's the Patriots. So
okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Cletus, Creasy, Skills, and Don Joe.
Yeah, Don Joe, man. I mean, he's a good player. He played well with the Dolphins last year. He gave me fits. I mean, I watched him and Cletus play, and they always had tight games.
Yeah, me and him played. We had played a lab game the other day. He jumped out on me so fast. I was like, "Oh, okay, Don Joe."
Yeah, he's got he
jumped
got
up
good little
35
scheme
quick.
he runs.
Like, oh man, okay. I ain't, I play around here. I had to tell him, yo, that's a lab game, right? He started laughing.
And Skills, I mean, he's had a lot of success. I mean, he's went to what, like 3 or 4 bowls last year. I mean, yeah. So I mean, he knows how to play. He's a really good passer, and I guess he's got the Bills this year.
Yeah, I think he's the Bills. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Bills are solid. From a roster, I think obviously the Patriots might have the best roster.
Yeah, they do.
But
on paper, yeah, they do.
And Creasy, man, I mean, he was the Falcons last year,
Yeah,
right?
he was Falcons last year. Yep, he sure was.
Yeah, so I mean, those are 3 solid guys playing, 4 solid guys all playing each other. I mean, I think it's going to be a really interesting division to watch. There's no give me's in that division, and that's good because Cletus is a good player, and good players should be challenged. It sucks seeing good players playing in a division where they're not getting challenged.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'll give it to Cletus, and until somebody proves me wrong.
Yeah, I would agree too.
Yep.
We have what is that? The AFC South. I know we have in that division. Who do we have? We have Texans, right? Texans is Truck. Set the Tone is the Colts. Then we have T. Will as the Titans. And a guy who was there who was the Lions last year, is now the Jacksonville this year, I believe.
Okay. Was the guy who's the Titans, was he the guy that blew the Titans up last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had to. It was unfortunate he didn't get a chance to play. I mean, that's his team too. Like,
yeah, right. I thought I knew that. I don't know any. I don't remember. It's funny because I really don't know. I think that division
is up for grabs. It's up for grabs.
I think it's totally up for grabs. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't really know. It's kind of eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know who will come out. I want to say that the Titans. I think I remember playing him in the past, and I think he's a pretty good Madden player. I think the Titans. I haven't looked at any of these rosters. I really don't even know who they have. Let's see. They have. I know who they have running back. What's his name? He's a beast.
Henry or Harvey?
Henry.
Henry.
Yeah. Yep. Henry. Yeah. I mean, he was so fun to watch in the playoffs last year. I'm going to say that I think that the Titans will come out number one in that division, as long as he doesn't blow them up. But I really don't have a lot of basis for it. But I'm just going on a whim and say the Titans.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Texans with Chuck number 1, Jacksonville number 2, Titans number 3, and set the tone number 4.
Okay.
And I'm doing that just to see if it motivates set the tone. I know he's gonna be talking trash.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Just figured I'd use that for motivation.
Yeah.
We have AFC North. We have Prime is the Bengals, Tick is the Browns, Ravens are Rail, and Steelers are of course Bill.
Yeah. Who's the Bengals?
Prime.
Okay. Yeah.
Prime time. 11:75.
Well, I'm gonna have to give it to Tick. I mean, he's coming off a bowl. He's always been. He's a playoff contender. Every season. The Browns are a fun team. They're a good team. They got good personnel. If the Ravens,
that's what I was gonna say. The Ravens can just figure it out, man. He could dominate.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Like he's
man.
really, I mean, if you just know how to play with him and play with him correctly, I mean,
he's Vic 2.0. He is. This Madden feels like the one with Vic on the cover. Like he could be all over the field with him, man. With Lamar Jackson.
He's ridiculous. So I mean, it just depends how these guys play with these teams. I mean, I know what I'd be doing with those teams.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm going to give it to Tick. I'm going to, Bill. He really is. I think he's getting better and better. He played better as the season went on last year. He's got some good personnel to play with. I'm going to say Tick number 1. I'm going to say the Ravens number 2. I'll say the Bengals number 3 and Bill number 4.
I'm gonna put Bill at 3 and Bengals at 4. Bill usually, his first year. If we're talking about this year, I think you're right. Bill usually takes a year. Bill plays possum this first year, gets a bunch of draft picks, and then comes out till year 2 and 3.
Yeah.
What's the name? Okay, we have AFC West. We have John the Bullet is the Chargers, Doc is the Broncos, Chiefs is BL Brown 82, who's a new guy, and Raiders Gringo 92 is a new guy.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think you kind of got to go with the Chargers.
Got a John the Bullet. Now, I know the 2 other guys from the year they play in the UG League, right?
Okay.
Be interesting to see what the Gringo guy does. He plays. Kind of reminds me of you a little bit how he plays. He was the Jets in the other league, and he played very similar to how you play. He's like run first, very conservative, very smart with the football. Really doesn't go outside of his scheme. It'd be interesting to see if he can beat John the Bullet. John the Bullet isn't the Rams, so we'll see what he can do with that Chargers team. But he'll be fine. BL Brown, he got off to a slow start last year in the other league, but when he figured out that arm bar, my God, he was arm barring everybody. He just ran the ball. I mean, he ran the ball crazy last match. Just ran the ball like 25, 30 times a game. Yeah. He was just very running. He started winning a lot of games too towards the end. So it'd be interesting to see, man. I hope Doc can. I would love to see Doc leave them Broncos, man. That team is older. They got a high salary cap. I think it's time for Doc to part ways with the Broncos. We'll see what he can do, though.
Yeah. I mean, Doc's, he almost beat me last year one time, and I think he was so mad that he missed his opportunity. I don't know. It was like the second or third season, And man, I mean, it was down to one possession, and I don't remember if it was a turnover on downs or what, but Doc has it in to play. Like, he can play well, and he's got a good team. He's got a good running back this year. So I mean,
they still got Lindsey, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Lindsey. Yeah, and he's good. He's fast, and he's a bit. I wish he was on my team. He's a good back, and I mean, the guy who's the Chiefs, I don't know anything about him, but he's got a team to win bowls with right out the gate. So I really don't know if he uses his team the way that he could, which would be really tough to beat. But if he's any good at all, he's going to be tough. And but with John and the Chargers, man, I think actually the Chargers, I think are going to be a pretty fun team to play with. I think they suit him really good. So I think right now I would say the Chargers number one. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Chiefs number two. I'm going to say I'll give Doc a nod, saying Doc number three, and then Raiders number four. I just don't have a clue about the Raiders. But I'm just going off personnel.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. So can I ask you? We try to ask everybody who jumps on here in the show. Let me get your top five, man. Who are your top five users in the league? Now that can be based on whatever you feel as though guys will give you fits. Whatever you feel is the top five. What is your top five? This is your list. So.
Well, based upon off last year.
No, your top five. That's what we're doing? Just last year's, man, or we doing?
Well, yeah, I'm going off last year because that's as fresh as it gets based upon, who I played, who gives me fits. I mean, man, last year, I mean, and this isn't just because you're on the other line, but I'm going to say that. Man, it's between you and Cletus. I want to say number one. It's really honestly between you and Cletus because Cletus can be a thorn in my side, and he plays really good, and we have close games, and I mean, it seemed like I always just come out on top, except for one game last year against him. I beat him almost every single time, but that doesn't really typically always happen. I think from a user point of view, that's you. I think you have a little bit better user. But man, you give me more fits last year. You beat me more. You beat the brakes off of me in the Super Bowl that like 5-6 years ago. It was the worst loss I ever had in my life in Madden.
Let that go, man. Let that go.
I was like, that was the worst loss I've ever had in Madden, period. And you did it. So I'm going to give you number one. I'll give Cletus number two. I'll give Boone number three, John number four. Number five. I would have to say, oh my gosh, it's hard. I'm going to give it to, who's the 49ers? What's his name? I keep forgetting. Dre. I'll give it to Dre. Number five to Dre. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. My top. I'm taking me out of it, man. Taking me out of it.
Yeah, it's your top five. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Like, based on what do you think?
That's the top five who I would look at and say, that's who I think, that's who I'm going to have problems against. So, I mean, that's who I'm going to say. Those are top five problem makers for me.
Yeah, it was you, Cletus, John the Bullet, Dre, and I want to kind of like put the fifth slide with Boone and Skills. They were like the top five for me last year.
Yeah.
So pretty much the same list. Cool.
Well, let me ask you this: season one, who who you predict will be who will represent in the NFC and who will represent in the AFC?
Come on, man. It's you in the NFC. It's you in the NFC. I mean, I can't go against you.
Okay.
AFC, to be honest, it's either John the Bull or the Skills, man.
Yeah.
John the Bull or the Skills. I think Don Joe might have a chance. Cletus, to be honest, he usually plays possum. Like, I don't really count Cletus' first 2 years because he's building, right? Like he's fighting, but he's not really. They first 2 rounds. It's a 12-round fight for him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he don't mind getting up the first 2 rounds. Like he'll whatever. He don't care about that. Later rounds 3, 4, 5 up to them later in the years. That's when he really pours it on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe Tick. Tick. I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna go you versus Tick year 1. That's what I'm going.
Okay.
That's what I'm going. Who are you going with?
AFC. I would say Cletus, but from a personnel point of view, I think they're just not there yet. And I totally agree with what you said. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to say John the Bullet. I'm going to give it to him. I think he's got enough weapons. I think he's going to take the Chargers. I think he's going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
NFC, honestly, I don't think I've ever made it to the Super Bowl in my first season. I think I've always choked in like the division or the championship. So
year 1. You usually don't make it year 1. That's true.
Yeah, year 1, I'm usually not that good. So I'm gonna give it to. I'm not giving it to you because I don't think your team's ready.
No.
But I think you'll get there. Let's see. Who would I give it to? I think I'll give it to Boone, man. For whatever reason, I don't know. I think Boone could be. I think he could be really good with the Panthers. He's consistent. I'm gonna say Boone or the Falcons, man. I think. I think Jersey Boy Don. I can't. I'm just gonna go ahead and say. Actually, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the Falcons against the Chargers in a Super Bowl. Okay. That's who I think's gonna make it. That's just my hunch.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Jersey Boy Don. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's got the team this year.
Yeah. Now my question is: do you think like us picking these guys, like, do you think that put the level of pressure on them? Putting them, us saying it like, hey, we expect them to go or whatever. Does that, you think that puts a level of pressure on them or not?
Well, I mean, let's see. Isn't this the year that we go from 6 to 7 teams in the playoffs this year?
Some new format this year. Yep.
That's going to be interesting, man. So there's only going to be one bye.
Yeah, number one seed gets by.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the playoffs are going to be a little bit. I think it's going to be a little more fun or more interesting. Year season to season now, since an extra. Because it always seems like somebody gets left out that was right on the verge. And especially in season 1, man, it's just such a crapshoot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about this pressure on them.
Do you think it's pressure or no?
Do what?
Do you think it's pressure or no? You think Jersey Boy?
I don't think. No, I just think you just roll with it, and it is what it is. But that's just what we'll just see, man. I have no idea. Yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
gives me no. I have no pressure. I have no
yeah, no,
pressure
I'm just
from you
curious.
telling me that I'm
Because
gonna make it
you
because
know,
I just know that I'm probably not, so I don't have the pressure.
yeah. So you don't have to press. That's what I'm saying. So it goes from like when a person like a John Boy or somebody, or even like a Jersey Boy Don, right? It's like he wins and he does great, right? But he's not. Nobody's like picking him. Now it's this year is like we're picking you. Now they
Yeah.
have eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you pick them, you know, or somebody like even if it was me and Ty here, we say, yo, the owner's box, we're picking you. Now
Yeah.
people are now watching your games. You know what I'm saying? Like you went from nobody really watching, maybe 2 or 3 people watching, to like 10 users watching your game, every game. You know,
Well,
that's
here's
a
the
different
thing,
level
man.
of attention.
One of the reasons I picked the Falcons is the fact that I think he came in last year after was it 3 or 4 seasons into the
Yeah,
league, and I think the Patriots sucked. I mean, I think
yeah.
that he came in and just started balling with them, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really sucked. They weren't even like their roster was imploded, and I think he was just. I just think now I think he's just got all the weapons, and I just
Yeah.
think he's a really good passer, and I don't know. I just think it's just like the 49ers won it last year in the Super Bowl, and I don't think he didn't win another one, but he's a good player, and just any good player can win the Super Bowl first season. I mean, it's open for anybody.
It's up for
So
grabs. Yeah, it's up for grabs for sure.
yeah, yeah.
It's up for grabs for sure.
So yeah, man, that's all I got.
Okay. Anybody you would think you would want to see improvements from? Who would you wanna who would be your like sleeper team, I guess?
Sleeper team.
Or sleeper user. Let's say user, because the rosters are a little funny, but let's say, who's somebody who you think could probably, shock at some people this year, at least in year one. Or who would you like to see shock some people? Like who's that new face that probably doesn't make the playoffs all the time or whatever that you would
Well,
like
I mean,
to playoff?
well, if Ty actually gets to play, I know that he said that he's going to be busy and it's going to be tough. He's going to try to play and all that. If he can play, I mean, knowing Ty in the past, and I think he could be that guy that comes in the NFC and could be a guy that's that sleeper team that kind of comes back and is contending with and I think he could be that sleeper guy. Honestly, that's who I think.
Okay.
Who it could be, and in the AFC. I'm trying to think through all these teams, man.
Yeah, I know.
Some of those guys I don't even know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's really hard. But I'm going to say out of everybody in the league, I'm going to say Ty, just because I don't think he really had the season or the the whole Madden season last year that he wanted to have. But I think if he's able to play, I think that he could be the guy that comes in and contends in the NFC for sure.
Yeah, I like to see, man. I would like to see. I'm gonna go with the AFC pick. I want to see the Titans, man. The guy T. Will who
Yeah, man, I thought that he played well back a couple of years ago, and I remember playing him, and I thought he was good. And he's definitely a sleeper pick. I'm glad you brought him back up because I couldn't think. But,
I like to see him. I like to see him make a good push, especially with the fact he had to like really leave the league due to the bad
exactly
in the Madden. I would like to really see him, avenge all of that and do something with that team. Especially him being a Titans fan, he really tried to get back in the league. He couldn't. We almost reset the league for him. It was a whole thing. So hopefully this year, he can make a push. My recommendation to him is don't edit no players. No matter what, leave their jerseys alone, leave their cleats alone. Don't change nothing with that team.
That's true. Yeah.
And he should be fine. All right, man. So, we call this segment right here the last play of the game. Anything you want to leave before we let you go here? Or we jump off this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to playing everybody. I just hope that, I just hope everybody has a good season. I hope it's a game that we all can enjoy, and I hope that that the league, the chat doesn't get too toxic. As long as that doesn't happen, man, I think it's going to be a fun year, and keep the main crew and just keep them going, and just wish everybody good luck this season, man. That's all I got.
Okay. Now, when you say the chat being toxic, you don't like you mean the trash talk? You don't like it?
Well, I watch it, but
yeah.
I don't.
You have a comment. You have a comment. Yeah, for sure.
I hide behind the bushes. I just kind of peep in, check it out. I don't like to talk a whole lot. But as long, typically what happens in Madden leagues, I've been in them so long, or so many of them, and you get a couple. If it gets too toxic, man, it kills a league. But
yeah, for sure.
Most of the guys I play, man, have good sportsmanship and can take a loss, and I think a lot of the guys do take a loss in this league pretty good, and that's a good sign of a Madden league. When guys can't take a loss, I mean, come on, I mean it's Madden, it's not that big a deal, and everybody we all have some sort of an ego, we have pride, and and that's what makes it fun. But as long as guys can keep that in check, and it makes for a good league, and this is a good league because of that. So, I don't like to get in the chat and smack talk a whole lot. I like to do that on the field. But,
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious to know your thing. For me, I it's funny, man. Some of the stuff, the comments and the comebacks, I'll be cracking up laughing, man. It's hilarious. And then for me, I just like it as motivation. Like I just, I need, I love it. Like I just love the energy, because it's competitive, right? So
Sure.
Yeah, I don't have no issues with no guys personally or anything like that.
Sure.
So it's funny. We'll talk trash, and then I'll call a guy on the phone. We just start laughing. Just laughing at the comebacks and stuff. It's kind of funny. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what this year is going to be. This Madden year. Hopefully I can, turn these Redskins or a football team or whatever. I hate the name. I hate the jerseys. Good God. I mean, I feel like they just neglected the team.
They're so bland.
Yeah,
they're so generic.
They look like they're not even NCAA uniforms. They're like some high school uniform or something.
They're so bad
uniform.
Maybe if they come up with a logo or a name, maybe they'll incorporate that into the game, and maybe it can be updated, for your sake.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, because it's terrible right now. Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, they don't even have they didn't even give them decent generic helmets. They just gave them it's terrible, man. It's man, they don't have no funding on that team. But yeah, I mean, I love to see some new faces, some new challenges here in the playoffs. I'm really looking forward to see how this new playoff system is going to work, this new format.
Yep.
The progressions of the players and how that's going to transpire later this year. Because I know that whatever they're doing now is not going to be the same. I think in November they're going to have a huge connected franchise patch. So it'll be interesting to see how we can progress our players now to what they're going to be progressing here when they do that huge patch. So, who can manage their cap is always interesting. Hopefully you don't, jack up your cap and do whatever you did last year.
That's not happening again. No.
You don't jack up your cap and trade somebody after you signed them 7 years.
No.
Yeah. So, but you still bounce back though. You know what I'm saying? You did that, got new money, got new players, got better players, still came back. It was crazy. I was like, man, I should sign one of my big players. We ready to pull a fine.
Well, I mean, it cost me my running back. I mean, I was out of the ball for 2 years, and I mean, that was my boy. It cost me. I mean, it did cost me, but fortunately, I was able to bounce back. So
yeah, for sure. So yeah, man, I guess I'll see you week 2, something like that. Week 2, week 3.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I guess we'll see. It'd be interesting. No, Lord knows I don't want to chase Murray around all day, but I already know what it's going to be, man. So
we'll see, man. Chase Young will be coming in there hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I got to figure out how to get these young guys that make them impact players and stuff like that. So I do appreciate you taking out the time, man, and joining me here. It's been a long time trying to get you on here. This is actually episode 51, so it's crazy how many episodes we got. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, man, hearing your perspective and your thoughts and your list and all that, man. I really appreciate you jumping in. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do this year.
All right, brother. Thanks for having me. Good luck, guys.
Anytime, man. Thanks, Candy. So there you got it. Candy Man on the owner's box. Next episode, I'm going to get with Ty. Ty, I'm going to get with you. If you're still tuned in, we'll figure out the time and schedule. Make this next one happen. Like I said, man, owner's box episode 51, new season. Whatever you did last, man, doesn't really matter this, man. Let skills in them tell it. Let the younger generation of guys tell it. What have you done for me lately? It seems to be the motto here in this league. I guess I'll see you guys on the field. And anybody's more than welcome to join me here in the next episode. Reach out to myself, reach out to Ty, man. Looking forward to talking to y'all. Gates, I'm signing out. Peace.